Well, I guess we knew this was coming, but big changes are coming to the service that Canada Post offers. 4 million addresses are going to be losing doorstep delivery over the next 5 years. And today we are learning which of the areas are going to be changing. First, Tanya Fletcher is joining me now, I think, with a map and all the details.
Yes,
Tanya?
Yeah, Sarah, so as you mentioned, we knew this was coming. Now we know exactly where with this first wave. So here's a look, 13 communities right across the country. This represents in total a combined 136,000 addresses that will be losing door-to-door delivery in favor of these community mailboxes. This transition will fully happen in 6 to 9 months. So by the end of this year, early 2027 is when that should be complete. This is the first wave. You mentioned that 4 million figure off the top. That's how many addresses are left in Canada that still have door-to-door delivery. So Canada Post says they're phasing all of them out. This is the first batch, and the remaining 4 million, as you say, will take over the next 5 or so years to do that, to make that change. And this is all, of course, in response to the minister's announcement. The federal government in September said, you know what, Canada Post, you need to make some meaningful changes so it's not a continuing drain on taxpayers' dollars. Canada Post today, we spoke with them. They acknowledge that. They say there are some big changes needed, and here's why in their words.
The post office is losing money, and we're now at a position where we're out of step with where Canadians are at. But I'd say if you're worried about it, talk to any friends or family or anybody you know that already has a community mailbox. Everything is under lock and key. Everything is dry. If you go away for a couple of days, your mail isn't sitting, on your front, in a box in your front step.
So he goes on to say about 80% of packages do fit inside of these community mailboxes. The remaining 20% that don't fit, if they need a signature, they'll still be delivered to your doorstep, otherwise at a nearby location for pickup, like is already done with many parcels. There will be an average of 16 households in one of these community mailboxes. They'll try to keep it nearby within the community. The biggest challenge, he says, is going to be the big urban city centers, those very dense downtown cores, and that's why right now, they're starting with more kind of the suburban outlying areas where they're kind of more that traditional, say crescents or streets where you might have the single family homes. That's where they're starting now. The bigger challenge will be those denser downtown cores. They'll try to work with each municipality on a one-by-one basis to try to figure out where is best for these community mailboxes to be accessible and safe as well, Sarah.
So how are people reacting to this?
Yeah, well, we went to West Vancouver on the North Shore here, Metro Vancouver, to talk to some people. There was some surprise and also some concern from residents.
I had no idea. That's news to me. That's sad, but not surprising, actually.
Well, I'm not happy, and I think there's older people, older than me, that have a hard time.
Most of the mail now today, in today's world, is all digital.
That I understand the difficulties and the financial problems of Canada Post, and it's a change in society, but if we're going to offer this service, we still need to make it accessible for all demographics. That includes people with disabilities and senior citizens.
Not surprisingly, perhaps the union doesn't like these changes. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers saying they don't like it. They're deeply concerned. Part of their statement with regards to the transition to these community mailboxes, they say Canada Post claims this is a modernization effort. Statement goes on to say, we fail to see how such a service cut will allow Canada Post to compete with private companies that offer door-to-door delivery. The union wants a full review of Canada Post to make sure it is fulfilling its mandate to Canadians, Sarah.
Okay, Tanya, thank you.
You bet.